It is now my pleasure to introduce our Elementary Teacher of the Year, Lissette Hawkins of Lanier Elementary School. Ms. Hawkins has 25 years of experience and currently teaches fourth grade math and has served as the lead teacher, mentor, dyslexia specialist at the campus. She was born in Cuba, came to the U.S. as a child, and later found her way back to education after once dropping out of high school, driven by her mother's unwavering belief in the power of learning. Ms. Hawkins knows firsthand how critical it is to reach students who may feel overlooked. She says, even after 25 years in education, I am still learning, still growing, and still searching for the students who, like me, just needed someone to believe in them. Lissette, thank you.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to school. I think I should sit down now. I think Danny said a lot of good things about me, and I'm happy with that. To be absolutely honest with you, I've been so nervous about today that I actually thought about calling in sick today. But as I prepared to speak to you, I thought about how does a Cuban girl like me get up on this stage in front of all you amazing educators and guests and speak to you. And I believe the answer is simple. I believe God put me here to tell my story. You see, as Mr. Massey said, I believe I'm a testament to the power of education. Education has the power to change lives. It changed mine. I was born in Artemisa, Cuba, in early 60s during the long, violent war for control of our country. My mother came from a family of 14 kids. She dropped out of school in second grade to help her family. Back then, education was not a priority. Survival was. We moved to the United States when I was 6 years old. My mother told me I would have the opportunity to go to school and change my life. I could be anything I wanted to now. I was so excited. I was going to live in America. I was going to go to school. However, when I got to school, I discovered nobody spoke Spanish, and that's the only language I had. I couldn't understand anybody. Nobody could understand me. This was a time in education where there were no bilingual supports. There was no 504. There was no resource. There was nothing for kids like me. I spent half of the year copying my classmates. If they sat down, I sat down. If they stood up, I stood up. And every afternoon I would go home and I would practice English while watching Sesame Street. I never, ever connected with a teacher. Once they realized that they couldn't communicate with me, they gave up trying. I felt unseen, unheard, uncared about, invisible. Those feelings never changed for me, and I ended up dropping out of high school at 16. My mother was brokenhearted. She believed I was throwing away my future, a future she had never had the opportunity to pursue. I was ashamed, but I didn't believe in the system, and I didn't believe in myself. Years later, I got married, and we had a beautiful daughter who became my everything. I thought I had found my purpose, being a housewife and a mother and a Christian. Years later, when I enrolled her in school, I felt lost. The thought of losing her to the world made me question my purpose. Did I even have one anymore? I enrolled her at Jane Long Elementary in Mrs. Gundy's kindergarten class in Freeport. I started volunteering, and something really unexpected happened to me. I felt joy and purpose every time I entered that classroom. One day, Mrs. Gundy asked me if I ever thought about being a teacher. She felt I had a natural connection with the kids, and she saw something in me that I certainly didn't see in myself. I told her the embarrassing truth. I didn't even have a high school diploma. No way would I ever be a teacher. She looked me in my eyes and she said, "You have the power to change that. Let me help you." Finally, a teacher noticed me and connected with me, and ironically was my daughter's teacher. And my life changed from that moment on. She guided me as I enrolled in the first ever GED class right here at Brazosport College. I finished with pride and confidence, and I kept going. I achieved what I thought was the impossible, and education and a whole new life. My mother was so proud. From that day forward, I committed myself to help kids fall in love with learning. I knew I could do that by making connections and building relationships, by helping kids feel seen, heard, valued, safe, and cared for, all the things I had needed when I was a child. So when I say education can change your life, I'm not quoting theory. I'm speaking from experience. I share my story with you today to remind you and to continue to challenge you to make those connections with our kids, all of our kids. Our youth needs us now more than ever. Our world is ever changing. May God bless you all with an amazing year of growth and making connections as we together grow future-ready leaders. Thank you.